So today is going to be very brief and simple, actually. I came to remind you that there's times when your mouth needs to really just be shut. There's times when you need to, what's the word now? Put a bridle on your mouth at work. We're talking about workplace dynamics. We're talking about our relationships. We're talking about how sometimes people can affect us in the most traumatic way, such that it starts to affect our output at work and everything. But we forget sometimes that we are the architects of those things. When people know too much about you, when people know more than they naturally should know, it's not always, what's the word? It doesn't always work to your advantage or your benefit. So that's something you need to be careful about. You walk into the workplace on Monday, and then your boss is looking at you some kind of way. You say hi, and then they don't respond, and you're wondering why. Why else? Because you went and told that somebody or those somebodies that he invited you out on a date, and now everybody thinks there's two and two going on between you. This is just an example, okay? So you need to be careful what you're telling people. I like to remind people from time to time that every single person in the office is not your friend. And then sometimes people are just people. It's not like they don't care about you genuinely. It's not like they're not really your friends and all of that, but maybe they just have that weakness. They talk a lot of times and they say the things they're not supposed to say. So you don't want to fall into that trap. You don't want to listen to, oh, I'm sorry I did this, I'm sorry I did that, when the damage has already been done. So what am I here to tell you today? Find a way to put a bridle on your mouth. You don't have to talk about every single thing at work. I'm talking things like your personal life. I'm talking things like whatever. So aside from your personal life, maybe when you've had issues with people in the same work environment, your boss has pissed you off. The other colleague said something you don't like. The other colleague treated you some kind of way, and all of that. You don't have to talk about all of these things in the workplace environment. I'll give you some examples. People have shared from time to time how so-called colleagues or co-workers use their personal issues against them. You don't want to be in that position. Sometimes it's some kind of sickness you're managing, sometimes it's stuff happening within your family, and before you know it, they start to circulate it for you. I've heard somebody say that they were going to offer a particular position, and because this other person knew she was dealing with sickle cell, she told them that's the what's the word, the uh, board that was going to decide, and then she's like, oh, she actually has this kind of a condition, and she's not going to be able to manage if you put her in this position. Now, this is not to say that the bosses made the right decision or the wrong decision, whatever works for you. But then she had no right exposing this person or exposing their private business, something such as sickle cell. Some people have all kinds of bias against sickle cell. And so they say, oh, because you're going to be falling sick today and tomorrow and the day after that and the day after that, we cannot offer her this position. And that's how, she just lost that opportunity. That's just an example. I've had people also give examples like people sharing why they got mad at their boss or that they got mad at their boss, and then the next minute that boss already knows that this and that was said about them. So you don't want that to be you, okay? There's this technique that works for me. Sometimes when I've noticed that I'm mad at something or I desperately need to talk about something and I'm in the workplace environment, it's either I call that person who is my friend outside of that environment, or my confidant, or one of my mentors, or I just find music which works for me. I plug it into my ears, and with time, I'm improving. My mood is getting better. It might be music for you. It might not be music for you. Find whatever works for you. But the message today, if you want to survive workplace dynamics and you don't want anybody to just traumatize you because you told them something you shouldn't have told them, learn to put a leash, a bridle on this tongue, mouth, whatever else, okay? You want to be careful what you're saying in the workplace environment. You want to be careful who you're talking to in the workplace environment. So that's all about that for today, guys. I hope that you have learned something again. And of course, do remember to subscribe, like, and share. Please be good. Continue to fight for your happiness. And I hope that 2026 continues to be a beautiful year for you. Bye, everybody. Until my next video, I'll see you when I see you.